Hello, I'm Jeremy Owens, Weight Loss Director with New Life Body Sculpting. I'd just like to say thank you for coming in today for your free personal consultation. I'm going to have you watch this short video that's going to go over several different things for you. We're going to be talking about expected outcomes of treatment on our program. We're going to talk about what the program entails. We'll talk about reasons that you've gained body fat and that you've gained weight. And then obviously be talking about what it is that our program does to correct these problems and get you on the path to losing weight and burning off that body fat that you've so desperately been trying to get rid of. Now, what I'd like you to do is jot down any questions that you have on the piece of paper provided. At the conclusion of the video, myself or the staff are going to come in to go over any questions you have. We'll go over your treatment plan, how often we'll see you for what length of time, expected outcomes of treatment, and we'll go over cost for treatment as well. The first thing I'd like to discuss with you is, why do we gain body fat? Why do we gain weight, and why can't I get rid of it? Well, there's several reasons that body fat will start to accumulate and that you'll start to gain weight. Obviously, we can talk about poor diet, lack of activity, but we also want to talk about some other things that play a role in this, like stress, hormonal changes, getting older, all of the little things that can add to the effect that once you start gaining weight, it can become a snowball effect. Now, it's important for us to understand how the body burns energy. Your body uses glucose on a cellular level for energy. As a primary backup, our body stores body fat. Now, normally, your body's going to focus more on the burning of glucose and store the body fat. So the goal of the program essentially is to get your body kind of switched over to more burning fats for energy than it is burning the glucose and the sugars. Now, we also do want to make sure that with the supportive diet, we are providing complex sugars coming into the system for brain energy during this process and allowing the other cells of your body to burn off the body fat energy reserves. Now, along with all this, we also want to create what's called a thermogenetic effect. This simply means getting your body to burn more calories internally. Normally, people burn between 11 to 1,700 calories in most situations, internally on a daily basis. We want to get that number way up to where you're burning around 5,000 calories per day. So what I want you to picture is internally you've got a fire that's burning energy. We want to take that little campfire and turn it into a big bonfire. Now, what this requires, if we're going to do it naturally, is caloric intake. So, on our 6-week weight loss cycle, what we do is spend the very first 2 days having you consume a lot of calories. Think of this as putting fuel onto a fire nonstop for 2 days, so it's going to grow into a very, very large, big burning bonfire. That'll have your body burning more energy internally, and at the same time, by having you do this with high fat content food, we're bringing in the type of fuel that we want the body to burn. During the process of these first 2 days, we have you take in 5,000 calories per day. I know that sounds like a lot, but because we're doing it with high fat content food, we actually see a situation where we're taking in foods that have 3 to 4 times more calories per gram than sugars or carbohydrates. So it's a lot easier to get there than what you may think. Now, what's happening during this process is that your body starts to mass produce amino acids and digestive enzymes to break down the food. The brain senses the increase of aminos and enzymes, so it knows there's a lot of calories coming into the body. And because these are aminos and enzymes specifically to break down fats like carnitine, arginine, thyrine, and lysine, the brain also knows a lot of fat energies are coming into the body. So we're accomplishing 2 things during that 2-day process. Number 1, we're increasing the total number of calories being burnt up to around 5,000 calories per day. And we're also eliminating a lot of the sugar, so your body is forced into a situation where it has to start burning these fat energies. By taking in those fats, just think of putting new fuel onto a fire, igniting it, getting that burning so it starts to burn off the old fuel as well. With that being said, I call these the fun days of the program. This is not the weight loss portion. So when we're talking high fat content food, we're talking about things like avocados and guacamole, hummus, nuts or nut butters, things like milk, cheese, cottage cheese. Some other sources of good fats that are more the fun type of foods would be things like bacon and sausage. Potato chips and chip dip are very high in fat content. Ranch dressing, blue cheese dressing, things of that nature. Along with that, go order a cheeseburger. Don't get the French fries. Order yourself a pizza, but get a thin crust pizza with extra cheese and extra meats. That's where all the fat content is going to come from with these foods. What's important to remember on these 2 days is you want to eat early and you want to eat often. Now, at the end of these 2 days, what we've done through the release of the essential amino acids and enzymes to break down all the fats is put your body in a position to be burning about 5,000 calories per day. During this time frame, you're going to be taking a supplement called Chirothin. Chirothin is a homeopathic blend of the same amino acids and enzymes like carnitine, arginine, thyrine, and lysine that your body is producing to break down all of these fat energies during the first 2 days. When you stop eating the food, your body drops its natural production, but the supplementation is now in your bloodstream, so your brain never recognizes that that level of aminos and enzymes has dropped. So the secret to this program is that due to the proprietary supplementation, when paired with a supportive diet, is your brain believes that you're repeating those 2 loading days over and over and over again throughout the process. So your brain believes you're taking in 5,000 calories per day when you're actually not. And it just tells your body, keep burning all these fats that I think are coming in, which puts the body in a position now to be forced to burn the only source of fat it can, which is what we've stored within the fat cells. Puts us in a very good situation now to go onto a supportive, low-calorie diet of lean meats, fruits, and vegetables without causing hunger and without putting your body into starvation mode so you're not losing muscle, you're burning body fat. That's what we want here, is primarily burning body fat, burning very little muscle. So those first 2 loading days are essential in this process. You must get to the 5,000 calorie minimum that we talked about here a little bit ago. Now we are through those first 2 loading days. The hard part's done. Now we begin the 40-day weight loss process. This is where the program gets very, very easy. What you're going to do each day is focus on eating lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. We provide you with a list of those foods. You just pick the ones you want to eat and enjoy your meals. The meals you're going to eat each day are going to be lunch and dinner. For each of those meals, you'll weigh out 4 ounces of lean meat, fruit, and vegetables. Now, along with that, there's a separate list of vegetables called the free vegetables. These are basically water-rich, fiber-rich vegetables that you can have unlimited amounts of with lunch and dinner. Theoretically, you could eat 3 pounds of food for each meal. Most of it's going to be in the free vegetables, though. The regular vegetables and the fruits are providing those complex sugars for brain energy throughout this process, and the lean meat is providing lean fats and protein. All of those things together, your 3 food groups and the supplementation, are the 4 pillars of support to help maintain that high metabolic function and continue keeping your body burning that 5,000 calories per day. It's very important to recognize that you cannot skip any of the foods that we've talked about or taking your supplement. Now, along with this process, water becomes very important. We need you to drink 80 to 120 ounces of water per day. At a minimum, if you can get up to a gallon, which is 128 ounces, even better. The reason for this is your lymphatic system is what's flushing the body fat, and it's hydration based, so water plays a very, very important role in all this. Now, along with this, we incorporate the use of the Zerona laser treatment. We're going to talk more about that here in a little bit, but essentially what that Zerona laser treatment is doing is creating increased circulation that helps dilate the pores on the walls of the fat cells, allowing those cells to release the fatty content, which is giving the body content to burn off during the weight loss process. This allows us to help target treat in the midsection of the body, so that's where most of your loss can come from. We're going to have you come in 1 or 2 times a week, more than likely only once. For a laser treatment, you'll sit down with myself or the staff to go through your weight loss journal. We'll record all your weights. We can look at what you're losing on a daily basis, figure out what you're on pace to lose, and then give you little tricks and tips to help get you the best result throughout this process. That's your personalized appointment time, and it's important that you utilize that time to ask any questions that you may have about the program. Above and beyond that, from a support standpoint, you can call us or email us anytime during business hours. You'll receive my personal cell phone number for evenings and weekends. You can also log on to the online videos anytime that you want. We'll give you a password to those. And all of the written literature that comes with the program is going to be provided to you as well. So these programs that we put together for you are all inclusive. So far, so good, right? Now, during this time frame, female patients can expect to lose between 20 and 30 pounds. Male patients between 25 to 40. Now, maybe your goal is bigger than that, and that's okay. We can always do multiple cycles to get you to your goal weight, and as a matter of fact, we'll put together your treatment plan to reflect how many pounds you're looking to lose, and even discount the treatment above and beyond the first cycle to help you get to your goal weight. Now, let's talk about a big glaring thing that we need to mention, the elephant in the room, which is what happens if you should eat anything you're not supposed to or cheat on the program. There are certain food groups that we have to completely avoid during this process because these food groups can actually stop the supplementation from working properly, which is going to stop the weight loss in its tracks. The food groups that we're referring to are any type of added oil or fats, any added sugar, and any alcohol. So none of those things will be allowed during this process. On your loading days, they're okay. They'll count towards those calories. But once we're past the loading days, remember, no added oil or fat, no added sugar, and no alcohol. When you're cooking your food, you can use nonstick cooking spray, water, you can bake it, boil it. A lot of patients are even using air fryers. Now, with all that being said, it's vital that you know that if you cheat, things are not going to work correctly on this. Myself and the staff are here to give you our time, tools, knowledge, and expertise to help you get the best result. But ultimately, the responsibility is on you as the patient to follow this when you're not with us. After all, we're not moving in with you, we're not buying your food, we're not cooking your meals, and we're not there to slap you on the hand if you do something you're not supposed to. So hold yourself accountable and make sure you follow things to a T. If you do so, you'll get the result that we expect. Now, we've completed the 6-week weight loss section of the program, and we're going to talk about what we're going to do after from a maintaining standpoint. This program is followed up by a 4-week maintaining phase. Therefore, each program itself, each cycle, is 10 weeks long. During that 4 weeks, what we're doing is having you cease taking the supplement. So you're no longer going to continue to burn that 5,000 calories per day. That's going to start to drop back down to your normal basal metabolic rate, and that's what we want. We'll also increase your food intake. For females, you'll go up from 4 ounces to about 6 or 7 ounces of lean meats, fruits, and vegetables. For male patients, it's going to be 7 or 8 ounces of each per meal. Along with that, we're going to reincorporate a small breakfast in. This is going to allow what you're burning calorically and what you're consuming calorically to be roughly the same amount of calories, so your weight will maintain itself for about 4 to 5 weeks. What that's going to create is a situation where a metabolic set point takes hold for your new lower weight. Notice how you kind of revolve around your weight now? Doesn't really fluctuate a whole lot. We want that same thing to happen when you get to a lower weight. So this maintenance time frame after is equally as important as the weight loss cycle. So make sure that you follow it to a T, just like you do the first 6 weeks of the program. Now, we're going to sit down and go over that maintaining cycle with you at the end of your first 6 weeks of weight loss, so I don't want you to worry about having to remember all of that right now. Now, to talk lastly a little bit about the Zerona laser treatment. This is a photochemical or cold laser therapy. It's not producing any type of heat. There's no downtime, you won't feel anything, and there's no pain. Treatments are very comfortable. Many patients sleep during their treatment. Treatments are going to be 10 minutes long, during which time we're going to stimulate the front and midsection of the body, get those cells dilated and opened up, which creates a cascade effect that moves around the body and then throughout, dilating the fat cells all through the body to help them release content. So you'll lose from head to toe, but mainly in the midsection. In conclusion, I'd just like to remind you that this program is meant to be followed to a T. I know I keep repeating that, but it's important to remember if we're going to lose between 20 and 40 pounds during a 6-week process, all in body fat, it's definitely going to have to be followed very, very closely and consistently. When we're talking 20 to 40 pounds, that's 2 to 4 10-pound bowling balls. Think of the relief off of your body in terms of knee pain, inflammation, just the way that your body's going to improve overall from a health standpoint is amazing. Our patients tell me all the time, I knew I was going to lose weight, but I'm shocked at how good I feel. I'm sleeping better, I've got more energy, just life in general is better. So if you follow this, again, you will do very well and life will improve. Now, myself or the staff is going to come in to answer any questions you have. We'll go over your treatment plan with you again, which will cover how often we'll see you for what length of time. Along with that, we're going to go over fees associated with the program. In terms of those fees, we've got several options in terms of payment. If you have any type of flex spending or health savings account, we can utilize that for this. We do offer to patients a same as cash payment plan, which we'll go over with you. And then there's discounts if you should pay for care up front with check, cash, or credit card. Again, I want to say thank you for coming in today. We appreciate your patience. We'll be in here momentarily to go over all your questions and go over any further information. Have a great day.